Yeah. All right. Welcome, everyone. Cheers. If
Mugs
you're
up.
watching us on YouTube, we have our mugs. Melissa and I have our Camino mugs.
Yeah.
Gerald, what's on your mug?
I found this bunny mug from Easter.
Yeah, he likes that one.
The good size.
Okay, so we are on episode 2 of the Mindset series. So, we're going to talk a lot about clarity is power. And then, Melissa, you're talking about, remind me.
Progress over perfection.
Yes, and I am swooping in with a good one. Complaining is a garbage magnet. Yes, I can't wait to talk about that. All right, Gerald, you go ahead and get started.
Yeah, so a lot of people think knowledge is power, but clarity is really power. And, why do we say that? It's because when you have clarity, you know exactly what you need to do. And one of the examples that comes to mind is like when your house is messy and you have clutter everywhere and it's really hard to think about what needs to be done and you're moving slower. And then once you clean up that house, you're just more free. And I think that it's kind of like your brain, like when you have so much clutter in your brain, you don't know what the next action is.
Mm-hmm.
You might get down on yourself and not motivated to do what the next step is that you need to do. And I think we kind of talked about it a little too in the last episode with, your morning routine and writing down anything that's on your brain in the morning to kind of just free up your brain. Call that the brain dump. And then picking that one priority that you need to get done for the day. And having that clarity is really powerful. It'll keep you focused on getting that one thing done. And that's where I think that phrase comes from, like clarity is power.
Yeah, I think it
Anything
takes a
that-
lot of stress away too, because you're not like, oh, should I do this or should I do that? Or maybe it's this. And also like knowing what to say yes to, what to say no to,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
Like what to put energy into and what to just be like, this doesn't align with where I'm going right now, so I'm not going to pass on it, versus like overextending yourself. So, I mean, I feel like every year, and Lindsay and I were talking about this too, like I want to dial it in better and better and better every year. So I get excited this time of year because I love like a new year reset. And I feel, this was a busy year with a lot of clutter.
Yeah.
I mean, really, we've been busy and going in a lot of directions, but going through that is giving me clarity on how I want next year to go and what I want to focus on. So I kind of needed this year to get new clarity, but I'm super excited about it.
Yeah.
Well, we had a very productive marketing meeting to talk about our marketing plan moving forward. And I was very impressed with you. You went and scheduled 2026 out.
I did.
Ooh, yeah.
Provided a lot of clarity on what we're doing every week, every month.
Yeah.
And I think we felt pretty powerful after that. And
yeah. No, it's exciting because I kind of joke that I trial and error a lot. And I feel like I've done enough trial and erroring for a while that now I know the goal, I know how to get there. And so now it's on the calendar. Like I blew up your inbox the other day with calendar invites of due dates. So every week there's like a main focus in a project. So for me, that's clarity because I can look at the week and be like, if I do anything this week, I have to get this thing done. And if I get this thing done every week all year, I'm going to make my goal. So that is like very powerful. And I'll be able to be a better leader because I'll be able to communicate not only what I'm doing, but what I need help with, when the deadlines are, when the busy time is going to be. Yeah.
Yeah, if it's not on the
Finally,
I know. If it's not on the calendar, it's hard to plan around that and just even to get it done. I was talking about it on my stories, the book 12-Week Year, which we love. And, I encourage people to read the book and to utilize how to plan your goals out. And you can get more done that way. So we basically, what you're doing is kind of what we've always done.
Exactly.
we did a podcast on that too, didn't we?
Yeah.
We should.
And I love the 12-week year aspect of it. And I am starting on that now. And then kind of what I'm troubleshooting now is like set for the whole year.
Yeah. So instead of doing it quarterly, you have it.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, because what's nice about the 12-week year is if it's a routine and you're already doing it, you can take it off.
Yeah.
So basically, since I have clarity on what I need to do for the Camino shop, when January comes along and we start a new 12-week, none of that is even going to be on that goal sheet because it's already taken care of, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So in January, I can come up with some new goals that maybe are more like personal goals. Maybe it's health goals or house cleanliness goals, or, like I can shift focus into other parts of my life because I'll have the Camino shop on autopilot versus like scrambling.
Right.
So I'm
counterbalance.
It is counterbalance. That's right. Yeah.
You're right.
It's episode 7 is the 12-week book.
Yeah. Well, as an entrepreneur too, and with multiple projects happening, it's hard not to, I guess, lose taking care of yourself and like your home, because you really do have to dedicate a lot of yourself into that business to make it, successful. So
it's true.
It's true. And we're on the 4th year of the Camino shop being opening, which is yeah, that has flown by. Yeah.
I know. It feels like it should be 10 years. I don't know.
I love it. That's funny. Okay. We talk.
You guys ready to move on to the next one? Okay.
So, yeah.
So the next topic we're going to talk about is progress over perfection. And they talk about this a lot in my favorite book, The Artist Way. You guys read that one?
I haven't. No.
Oh.
Yeah,
I think you'll like it.
Okay.
And this is a little bit more of like my art brain versus like my business brain. But it talks a lot about when you're trying something new, you're going to be bad at it and you're going to make mistakes, and you have to be okay with that uncomfortable feeling of failing, basically. So like as an artist, like let's say you're really inspired to, I don't know, paint, and you haven't been a painter in a long time, or you've never done it, but you want to try it. So you start taking some classes, and it can be really intimidating to show up to, an art class and feel like you're painting like a kindergartner, right? Because you haven't done it.
Yeah.
But you have to paint like a kindergartner to get to the steps where you can start painting the way that you really want to. And there's just no way to fast forward that progress. And in business too, you're always going to make mistakes. You're always going to have, things come up that you have to fix, right? But it's the fixing them and the getting better at them. And so I don't know. A lot of the business stuff like that is kind of hard for me. Like I don't want to fail, or I don't want to do it wrong. But when I read about it from like an artist's point of view, it helped me to connect the dots. Because I just can relate to that a little bit more about like wanting to create something, like even staging, right? Like when we started staging, I had never worked in interior design, or, I took a 2-day staging class, which was great, but that doesn't mean, now you know how to do staging.
Yeah.
It was like years and years of figuring out what is staging and, how does it look good. And I looked back at some of the first ones that we did, and they were bad. I mean, they were bad. It was blow up mattresses, and it was bar end tables from our bedroom, and it was lamps we found on clearance at Fred Meyer. It was bad, but we had to go through that to get to the next, to get to the next, to get to the next. So whenever I'm starting something new, or I feel like I'm failing, I always have to put back the perspective of a little kid drawing and being like, it's okay. You're in that phase.
Yeah, definitely.
You guys.
Well, I just finished the book, Big Magic, which is pretty similar to that.
It is.
So she was, from a writer's perspective, but really anyone who's creative, well, anyone, from a creative mindset, is just to like, hey, you might not be good at first, and that's okay. Or you just keep working at that goal and maybe you won't be, successful with your first book or your second book, from her perspective. But yeah, so it's similar to that book too.
I love that one.
I know, that was a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, my personality type, like 10 years ago, I was a perfectionist, and that would prevent me from doing or trying out new things because I wanted it to be perfect.
Yeah.
And I think, like, for one example is, doing the TV show, The American Dream TV. I had found an email where I had reached out to them like 4 or 5 years ago with the opportunity, and I didn't take it because I didn't feel like I was good on camera. It wasn't going to be like perfect. And, at that time I wanted everything to be perfect. And like Melissa said, that's just not how it happens. You have to start from somewhere.
Yeah.
You have to suck a little bit. And then, just looking at the first episode I did earlier this year was pretty bad, in my opinion.
Bad at all. I know. I saw your post today. I'm like, are you kidding me? It was so good. But like we talked about in the last episode, like we're our own competition, or like worst critic and that sort of thing. But yeah, they've all been good.
And now I look back and like just finished my 5th episode.
Yeah.
And it gets easier. You get better. You know what to do with your hands and what questions to ask. And
yeah, those are the 2 hardest things.
They really are. What to do with your hands. What do you do with your hands, Gerald?
You want to keep them here in the power zone.
Yeah. Okay. Or if you have a cup, hold on to the cup.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah. I know. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I think I've always suffered from that, like analysis paralysis. And
it's because we're Virgos.
Yeah, we want it to be perfect. And, I've come a long way, I think. And sometimes I err on the side of things not being great, but I'm doing them anyway.
Yeah.
And, you learn from your mistakes. So it's okay to make a lot of mistakes as long as you learn a lot of lessons.
Exactly. You're doing it.
So when we started working together, like after we had both left our corporate jobs and we were both real estate agents, we were our first like team, right? Like it was the 2 of us together. We had not worked together before then. I think some people think that we met as realtors and formed a team, but that's not true. Like we had a whole life before real estate.
Yeah.
And we became a team, and they had us do like a personality assessment, which was really eye-opening because I got to read about his personality. He got to read about mine. And I learned things about him that I didn't know because I hadn't worked with him, even though we had known each other for like 10 years by then.
Yeah.
And his one word is that he's a perfectionist. And mine is that I'm results oriented. So basically what we discovered is that Gerald won't get something done because it's not perfect. And then I'm going to get something done, but it's going to have mistakes. I want to get to the end line, however I can get there.
Oh, I see.
And then Gerald doesn't get to the end line because he wants it to be perfect. So we realized right away that we needed each other. So we found ways that like I could do a project 80% and then he would come in and do the last 20% and like fix all my errors or find a better way or whatever. And so that really the base of us being in business together and kind of leaning on each other's strengths. And it's been good.
Yeah.
I really enjoy working with him, and I enjoy working with Lindsay too. And I think it's because I know her work style. It's very similar to Gerald's.
Yeah.
It was so easy to start working. I don't know, maybe it wasn't as easy for you to work with me.
No, I mean, I had to take that survey too when I started working with you guys. And I love those. I've taken a few of those before, and it's just interesting because then you learn your other coworkers and how they are, and then how to adapt and like work together and be a team. Yeah. On my other podcast where we interview musicians, they have, a lot of them are perfectionists too, and they have a ton of unfinished songs.
Oh,
and like one guy we talked to last week, he's like, I will be working on a song for, 30 hours. And then I'll check on it 3 weeks and it sounds exactly the same. Like when to know to be done.
Sure.
So, in any profession, it's kind of the same thing with that mentality.
Oh yeah.
I need to get this done. If it's not perfect, it's fine.
Yeah. Done is better than perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And kind of what, we were talking about before, where you're just competing against yourself.
Yeah,
So as long as you're making progress every day
That's
yeah,
true.
towards your goal, like give yourself grace and don't compare yourself to others,
mm-hmm.
and just make progress, and you'll
Yeah,
eventually get where you want to go.
mm-hmm.
And it may not be perfect, but it
Yeah,
might be really, really good.
Might be more perfect the next time,
exactly. I know.
right?
It's hard not to, though. I mean, I tell myself that every other day when I'm scrolling on Instagram and I'm like, oh, I want to be like that, or I want to have that, or I want to be that successful. And that kind of leads into the next topic of
Mhm.
complaining is a
Yeah.
garbage magnet, because
Yeah.
I know better. Like, I know better. And I don't like to
Right.
complain. I dislike it when people do it. But it's very true that it is a garbage magnet. So, you attract that negativity, those same
Yeah.
people. I remember working at different companies, and there was always that one person that would just like suck everyone down. And you're like, yeah, I don't
Right.
like this place, or just whatever the
Yeah.
case is. Yeah. So you just get stuck, and then there's no growth there. So,
Yeah.
some things that I found what you should do instead is
Yeah.
shift your solutions. So instead of repeating the problem, ask, what can I do about this right now? Even
Mm.
small steps to break the cycle. So,
Yeah.
for example, if I'm getting sad about, my progression or whatever, I'm like, okay, I need to go into my database and like follow up with people, going back to, am I following up enough? Am I doing enough there? So I spent a good amount of
Mhm.
in Brevity today, Gerald. A lot of time.
Yeah.
Right.
Control the controllables. So you can't fix everything, but you can adjust your attitude. That's a huge thing. Your habits, your
Totally.
systems, your communication, and your prep. Stay in the lane, like you said. I don't know if we were recording yet, but about the pilot
Mhm.
and always adjusting.
Oh, right.
Or, yeah, ask better questions. What's the opportunity here? What's that teaching me? What's the next step? So that helps move your brain into a problem solving and creativity rather than negativity. Practice gratitude. Gerald talked about
Mhm.
that in the last episode. With every morning he does his brain dump and thinks about what he's grateful for, and then taking ownership. So always coming back to personal responsibility,
Yeah.
owning your choices, your mindset, and your results. So that helps take your power back from that. So yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a lot of good stuff. It's
Yeah.
it's easy to someone's complaining about something and like misery loves company, right? And then you just start going down this rabbit hole of, oh, well, this other thing that really annoys me is this. And then you're just like having this conversation and you're not like getting anywhere. It's not
Mm-mm.
helping the relationship. It's not,
Yeah.
it's just kind of a waste of time.
It is.
Yeah,
Right.
because you have to protect your positivity and your mind from garbage, right?
You really do. It's so easy to get into that.
Yeah.
Again, going back to social media and seeing stuff on there, it's just so easy to. And then,
I think, when people got their news from TV,
mhm,
that was a big source of garbage too, where
yeah.
That's true.
it's just all
Or
negative,
doom scrolling.
right?
Hmm.
Yep.
So that was like one of the first things I stopped doing, was watching the news,
Same.
Yeah.
I know.
because I didn't want to know about all the crime that was happening
Yeah.
Mhm.
all over the country. It's like, what's the point of that?
Well, I feel like they
Um,
always report on sad things.
Yep.
It's like, can we just.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's why I like to watch
Yeah.
Sunday morning. It's always good. It's always positive.
Mhm.
If I'm going to watch new stuff, I'm like, I like Sunday
Right.
morning. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think we're supposed to know everything wrong that's going on everywhere as a
No.
human, right? Like, I don't
No.
know if that's natural.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's overwhelming, and it's just, ugh, yeah, icky. But yeah,
And the first time I heard this complaining is a garbage magnet,
yeah.
I was going to ask if you could
No,
you
share.
know what I'm talking about. So this was probably over 10, maybe 15, probably 15 years ago. He was working in real estate and I was still working at my corporate job. And I was always in all these meetings. And then,
Well, I was in that conference. So Keller Williams
yeah,
has a 7-week course that's called BOLD training,
yes.
BOLD, which stands for Business Objective Life by Design.
Hmm.
And they have these bold laws, and one of the laws is complaining is a garbage magnet.
Yes.
So I would come home from work. The first thing I'd say when I came home is like, oh my gosh, this deadline got moved. And then we had to redo everything because the color palette changed. And then we got everything in on time. But then now we have to redo it. And then we have to work late. And, I'm just like going through the list of like this terrible meeting that I just got out of.
Yeah.
And Gerald looks at me and he says, complaining is a garbage magnet. And he kind of it kind of shocked me for a minute. I was like, whoa, wait.
You got to be on my side here. You
Like,
can't complain.
Okay. And so I just kind of stopped what I was doing. And at first I'm like, what a jerk.
I know. I was like, really? I would have been like, what a jerk. Complain with me.
But then it kind of got in my brain. So the next day I was at work and I was in a meeting where I was getting annoyed. I started laughing and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to be mad about this. Because really, why do I want to take this home and make it his problem? Right. And so I started slowly shifting my mindset. And ultimately, that's what led me to leave a corporate job and to be an entrepreneur, because I saw how Gerald was thinking differently, learning how to do things differently, and just functioning different when you're an entrepreneur versus when you're working for someone. So I was really grateful for that moment, even though it felt kind of weird.
Yeah.
That was
How long was it?
One of many bold laws I would say to Melissa as the training went on. One of the other sayings I would say a lot too is if it's not on your calendar, it doesn't exist.
Oh yeah.
A lot of times she wasn't putting stuff on our calendar.
Yeah.
And we were missing it. So
yeah,
it's really fun every time I get my hair done, and then I'm like, you make your next appointment. It's always for whatever reason, I feel like getting my hair done is always the furthest out appointment I'm ever making. And I'll see that whole week is it's empty. I'm like, oh, I can do it on this day. And then I put it on my calendar and I invite him to it. And then he knows that I'm not available during this window of time. And that's just how it is for everything, personal and work and family. Because that's
how Fred and I do it.
Don't have it on there. I can't get my hair done.
And we need that appointment, as ladies need that.
Yes.
No, Fred and I do that too. It's just hard with your family get-togethers and things like that. You have to put it on the calendar. You just have to. Yeah. Awesome. Well, you've been implementing the bold laws for how long now? Did you say 15 years? Yeah.
Yeah, it's never too late to start thinking about, mindset and changing how you look at things. And it can be life-changing for anybody. It doesn't matter if it's for your job or your personal life. Definitely things you can learn about mindset. And I didn't learn about it until I was 40. So if you're younger than me and you're learning about mindset, that's great, because you got a head start.
I know. I wish I would have known about it at least when I started working in my 20s. That would have been nice. Yeah. But I kind of had that shift too when I was working for a bigger corporation and just seeing my friends who were entrepreneurs and or just worked and owned small businesses. I want to work and help them, not necessarily be my own until, as a real estate agent, we are our own entity, but it's just, I feel a lot lighter now, I don't know what it is. Yeah.
And, now that I you see certain business leaders and just people in the community and they're always happy or positive. And it's now I understand, they have that positive mindset. They have the growth mindset. And I want that.
I know.
I want to get better at dealing with, things that don't always go right and not complaining, but focusing on what I can be grateful for. And it's pretty simple if you just make that effort.
It really is. It really is. I feel like it's
one.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I feel like it's more exhausting and more work to be in a negative mindset. I'm just why? It just seems so it's just so heavy. Just let it go, I don't mean to quote Frozen, but it's true.
Well,
it's tough. 'Tis the season.
There's a story. Maybe we could find it and post it somewhere, but it's about how the answer to everything is good. You've been kind of talking about that one lately.
It was on my TikTok feed.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that?
Are you looking it up?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, we didn't have this on our notes.
Oh no, it's good. No, I love this. So it's a story, someone's story.
Did you find a version of it?
So yeah, the guy's name is Jocko. I think he was like a Navy SEAL or was in the military, and his answer to anything that would come up is good. So like, you know, if something like he was say some supplies didn't come in for the mission, you know, he would say good. And if it was, you know, there's supposed to be training outside and it was raining, he would say good. So it was always being positive about whatever situation comes up, and just having that mindset of it's good, like we'll figure it out and move forward and be positive about anything that comes up.
It's basically acknowledging, hey, this thing happened, so now we need to do this thing. Like it just takes the emotion out of it, right?
Ah, that's interesting.
And there's like another, I think it's a Chinese parable about the.
Yes, that one.
That's a good one too.
That one's really good.
But it's the same
about like,
oh yeah,
you know, talking about like
yes.
the son couldn't get drafted because of his medical condition, or I don't know.
He was like, okay,
it's really good.
The parable of the Chinese farmer.
The Chinese farmer.
So look that up. That's
yes.
really
gosh.
interesting.
Who brought that up? I feel like I just learned about that earlier this year. I can't remember where I learned it. I don't know. Maybe it was on
that one. His response is maybe. To everything.
Maybe.
Oh,
so
yeah.
That's kind of interesting because you don't know, like if something that happens to you could be good or bad. Like, you don't know.
For sure. Sorry.
I mean, that's kind of how I feel about the schoolhouse. Like, oh, it can't be a store. Good. At least we're not going to try to make it something that it can't be, right? So now, like, what can it be? Now we can work on that. Yeah. So
I feel like that's how you embraced it too. I mean, you didn't. You're just like, okay, this is what we're doing. No, I love that.
Good.
I'm gonna.
I'm sorry. I say good, and it sounds sarcastic.
I'm gonna start saying that without telling Fred what I mean, and he'll just
good.
You're being sarcastic right now. That's funny.
Gerald does it pretty good. Let me hear you.
Good.
I feel like Gerald is always like, he's just always chill. You know, I'm like, I wish I could be like that more. Yeah, that's good. You're a very good example of that, not letting things get to you. Okay, moving on. So we talked about a couple of, well, I think, did we talk about the one thing?
Next time.
Okay, so.
That'll be its own podcast.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, so I wanted to bring it up because we will talk about it because we did a whole episode on the 12-week year. So the one thing we've talked about in previous episodes too. Those are 2 books we always read every year. So we'll definitely chat more about the one thing. But
yeah, I'm excited. It's a good one.
It is a good one. All right. I think we're good. Well, thanks everyone for listening and watching.
Thanks, Lindsay.
Bye.
Bye.